Joining us now is Nadia Matar, co-founder of the Sovereignty Movement. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Mirushalayim.
You're speaking to us from a protest outside of the Prime Minister's office in Jerusalem. You're protesting the so-called 100% right-wing government.
It's unbelievable. We can't believe that we are once again here in front of the Prime Minister's office, in front of the cabinet meeting, to come and warn against the pathway to a Palestinian state. We were here so many years ago with Ehud Barak and Ehud Olmert, and who would have believed that after October 7th, we are back talking about a pathway to a Palestinian state? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. What happened is that we stopped talking about sovereignty. There's no vacuum. If we stop talking about the application of Israeli sovereignty over the land of Israel, then they start talking about a pathway to a Palestinian state. And our friends are trying to calm us down. It's just a pathway. It's not going to happen. First, the Palestinian Authority has to become Swedish or Swiss before it will happen. So what are you worried about? That's the catastrophe. The catastrophe is that by admitting that there's a pathway, you basically legitimize the existence of a fake Palestinian state that deserves a state as if. And that is the danger, because another government will come to power and they will say, we will put aside all the restrictions and we will give them a state. And the state's purpose is the destruction of the state of Israel. So we came to wake up our friends. We know that the majority of the government is against the Palestinian state, but it's not enough to just be against. You also have to do something active to prevent it. And that's the application of Israeli sovereignty over Judea, Samaria, and Gaza, because the entire land belongs to the Jewish people. We have one sign here that says, don't upset God. Don't go against the Bible. The entire land of Israel, including Judea and Samaria and Gaza and the northern and the Bashan, belongs to the Jewish people.
President Trump already said no to sovereignty, and it seems that Netanyahu is acting according to Trump's directions.
First of all, President Trump gave a green light at the beginning to Israel to do whatever they wanted, to erase Gaza, to expel all the Gaza Nazis from there. Unfortunately, in Israel, we didn't act upon it, and he changed his mind. But we are here in front of the Prime Minister of Israel because we are demanding from our Prime Minister. We don't come with any complaints to the President of America. He deals with what is important to him. Our own Prime Minister stood firm, for instance, and said there will be no Turks and no Qatar. And he succeeded, even though President Trump wanted it. So when Prime Minister Netanyahu is strong and wants something, then he can change the mind of the president and remind the president and all their supporters. All these supporters of President Trump told us, we, unlike President Biden, we're going to respect the will of the majority of the Jewish people. And the will of the majority of the Jewish people is in favor of sovereignty and against the Palestinian state. So if you are real friends of Israel, you will be against the Palestinian state, in favor of sovereignty, and that will not stop normalization with Saudi. Why does Israel always have to give away parts of our land? We will have normalization if only with sovereignty. And if we have to choose between sovereignty and normalization, we will do what Minister Eli Cohen said. I prefer sovereignty.
So are you basically now against Netanyahu, concerned about Netanyahu's government?
We have to strengthen this government to stand firm, to do what the majority of the Jewish people want, what is good for the Jewish people. We have to remind them that they were brought into power because they're right-wing, they're in favor of sovereignty against the Palestinian state. And we hope and pray that our message today, with representatives of many different organizations here, is something that we don't have to repeat. I don't want to come back to the streets. Those who are in the streets are usually in the opposition. We here are a few dozen people who represent the majority of the Jewish people. We hope that this alarm that we sounded today will be the last one, and we will see a government that will do what the majority of the Jewish people want, what the Bible wants, what God's want, from the river to the sea, Israeli sovereignty.
So Nadia, how long will this protest continue? What will make it come to an end?
We are not demonstrating. We are here in a vigil of sounding the alarm. And we started in 2011. You ask when we're going to stop? We're never going to stop, because after there will be a vote in the Knesset or in the government, we will continue to make sure that sovereignty is implemented. It's not enough to vote for sovereignty. And what needs to be done is to bring another 2 million Jews on Aliyah here to make sure there will always be an overwhelming Jewish majority. And we will start making sure that the 82% of the Arabs of Judea and Samaria who are in favor of the massacre, that they will relocate in the 21 Arab countries and the 49 Muslim countries. There's 21 Arab countries, there's 49 Muslim countries. There's only one Jewish state from the river to the sea, smaller than the state of New Jersey. We will always have an overwhelming Jewish majority under Israeli sovereignty.
Nadia Matar, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.